Win, lose, or draw.
Should be in good shape.
Give me a second.
Go lower that camera while you're up. What's up, everybody? This is the D-Buddy podcast.
Is that better?
Go up a little bit. Now you're really looking down on us.
Okay.
That's cool. Dude, why don't we let us do the polls anymore? How we did the polls that one week?
Yeah. How you doing, Keisha? You got to tell people hello when they come in the room.
Hi, Keisha. I'm sorry.
You rudely.
Yeah. Who should see
There's
this?
no hospitality.
They used to let us do polls on here.
What's up, man?
We got a song called "The Man." I'm on
There you go.
That's all.
Go
Good.
check it out on my YouTube channel.
You go ahead and holler at people. I'm gonna try to figure something out on this.
He's actually troubleshooting, but this is definitely the live podcast. I'm good, man. Look, this is what it looks like in December in Louisiana. I can wear sleeveless shirts and shorts.
He used to let us do polls on here. It won't let us do
doing
it.
Bobby, Russell. We got friends joining in, and you got a lot that you wanted to get off your chest.
Well, let's start it off because we usually run a segment on here called "Opinions Are Like Assholes." Everybody has one.
Yes.
And what it is we ask people a bunch of questions, multiple choice, and they won't let us do polls. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it started, and we can have our question out here, and I'll type it into the group.
Okay.
And that way we can get into the weekend. So this week was International French Toast Day.
Yeah.
They had a question going around the radio. Do you prefer French toast, pancakes, or waffles? So I was going to lead off with that question. Your breakfast carb of choice, Higgins. Do you have French toast, pancakes, or waffles? I need you to be an answer.
Okay. It depends. Like, mine does fluctuate, but I think I've chose French toast more than any other of the three. Is that what is yours?
I prefer a good waffle.
See, when the last time I ate, well, actually, you know what? I'm sorry, I ate some Eggo frozen waffles last night.
There you go.
Came home.
You know what's good? The Eggos, man. The cinnamon.
The cinnamon.
They got the cinnamon Eggos, frozen Eggos.
Never ate those.
Never ate those?
Nope.
They hit, man. Especially if you're drunk.
My kids.
You hungover the next day,
I
right?
don't do the sweets.
And you need the carbs to soak down that liquor.
I don't do the sweets.
That's the spot, man.
I can't do that.
So big sports weekend. I know we do a sports podcast, right? But I want to sit and talk about sports. And obviously, everything started on Thursday night with the Saints-Cowboys game, which was kind of a humble experience. You actually did a live video after, which I didn't want no parts of, because I needed a few days to soak down this defeat.
Well, let's put it this way. The whole offensive line is butthurt soaking in the tub.
They're gonna be running 2 a days. You know what they've been doing the past few weeks though? They've been missing practices, just kind of chilling.
How you know, who told you that?
They have the injury report every week. So it comes out and it says the guards, limited practice or took a day off.
Well,
obviously they deserved it because Breeze wasn't getting sacked for weeks on end.
Right. Well, and look, they probably needed it. I don't think he would just give them off like that just to give them off. They probably needed it. And think about it, because
I got a question. Keisha's in the room and she's got a serious. She said she cannot find you on YouTube. So, Keisha, I'm gonna make sure he messages you a link.
You're probably spelling the name wrong.
Yeah, because she did spell it wrong when she came in the room.
Yes, Higgins.
Higgins.
If you look at the header for this YouTube video, that's how you spell it.
Well, you know what it is you need to go to the clerk of court and change the spelling of your last name.
If you go to Google and
you and all your kids,
it's gonna pop up.
Anyway,
but yeah, no, they probably needed it, and being that these guys are fighting like they are, I mean, that's a trench, dude. That's I would think that push and pull that you're doing every snap has got to be just as breathtaking.
Thank you, Slim.
got to be just as breathtaking as running a route.
So let's see the notes I got on Thursday's game, because I wanted to be prepared and not look like an idiot like I always do. Do you think, I asked you this on your live video, do you think Sean Payton ran a fairly vanilla game plan?
Yes.
Offensive scheme against Dallas?
Yes.
Why would he do something like that?
Well, that's where it's easy to say that from the outside looking in, but when you're in that cloud of smoke, I mean, it's obviously a tough place to play. Probably was a hectic environment, and then when you're pinned up against the wall like that, you know, and we've seen this in the past from the Saints, and this is where Sean Payton, which everybody has a weakness, and it seemed as if his weakness was he gets rattled and he tries to like just be one-dimensional. And I mean, think about this: they came out 0-2. 0-3, 0-4, like just throwing the ball. You know, they didn't even give the running back, you know, any misdirection, anything, and they stuck to that, and it really when we started to get a little more balance, move the ball a little bit. They only had one real drive that was successful in that game, and it was the third quarter drive when they scored. And the only reason why they scored was because the penalty on the punter. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't even score that touchdown.
And the pass interference calls. They had a few of those.
Now, hats off to the defense, because the turnovers are still there. The turnovers are there every week. Every week. They look, I mean, that looks like 2009 football from the defense.
Slim said Tampa's in trouble. I don't think
Tampa is in trouble.
I don't think we're gonna run up another game plan against Tampa. So,
I don't think
so you're not worried about the O-line.
Well, like you said, we didn't see much of Taysom Hill.
We got a lot of hearts coming in.
Yes, we do.
Appreciate that.
Much love. Big up, big up. But the for me, yeah, like you said, I think like you didn't see a lot of Taysom Hill, and everybody was complaining about that. Like, where was those the schemes? You know, and they had a whole week to prepare for it. So
yeah, it was a regular work week.
You know, something made them feel that they could go in there and run that kind of game, run that style of football and win.
They almost got it done.
Right. They still almost won. You know, I mean, they almost pulled the rabbit out the hat. Now, I had listened to Breeze's post press conference after, and they asked him about the interception, and he said he was just trying to throw it away. Like when he threw behind,
right?
You know, he said he was really just trying to throw it away. But you know, I mean, the guy got under it, scooped it up, made a great play on the ball.
Now I know you covered a lot of this weekend, but I got one more question about the Saints game. Do you think? Well, two more questions. One, are you worried about our second receiver option going into the playoffs?
I am worried about why Brandon Marshall hasn't even been activated yet.
Do you think he's our number two?
I mean, is he really healthy?
At this point,
that's the question.
At this point, how much better is he than what we have?
I don't know, because he'll never get on. He's never touched the field yet.
He did get cut now,
right? But you know, he could be full of shit, and they could be all on the same page about him being full of shit, because they asked him about because he got cut like before week 1, if I'm not mistaken. I think
he played some games.
He played and he played 1 week. Because they asked him when did he feel 100%, because he said he's 100%, and they asked him when he feels 100%, and he said at week 3 he felt 100% ready to go. So from week 3 till the day that they brought him in, he's been 100%. Is the scheme that hard?
It is complex. That's defense. This is defense.
I know, but I mean, that's how bad we needed a cornerback.
Do you think people shitting on Eli Apple is unfair?
Yes,
I agree.
And the reason being is, look, I'm not an expert, but I did listen to Deuce McAllister.
You stayed at the Holiday Inn Express.
Yeah, I listened to Deuce McAllister and Zach Streif talk about it after on Friday evening, and they said that Eli Apple was doing the same exact thing that the Dallas Cowboys cornerbacks were doing, because what they were doing is they were on the route running, they were hand checking and putting hands on the receivers at the end of the routes, not just pressing. They were putting hands on the receivers at the end of the routes. Eli Apple was getting called on it, and the Dallas Cowboys wasn't. And he was saying, hey, I don't have a problem with Eli Apple getting called on it or them not getting called on it. It's football. But you got to call it both ways because you don't know what you're going to get when those every referee team calls it differently. And that's why these guys, they keep the same refs together all season. And he said that, they actually ref a Saints game once this season, and I think it was the Browns game. But I mean, like you said, you got to call it both ways. Now they made some terrible calls, like even with the challenges, it happens. We got that one challenge, the second one, he did the right thing, and you'll probably never see a challenge like we challenged our own fumble.
Right. To
get the field position.
So,
but the first one. He had his faith in his receiver. The guy said he caught it. The camera didn't show it. That's the problem. And then Eli, like I said,
you did. I'm gonna cut you off. You did 3 nights on this.
I did.
So we're gonna move on.
Yeah. Well, one more thing. I don't know how the Cowboys how the referees did not see that wasn't a first down.
Hey, it happens, man.
I mean, his knee was all dug up in the ground. I'm sure the Jerry World Megatron.
They don't have to review it. It's bang bang play.
I know. I'm just saying.
So keep your challenges. You ain't gotta worry about it.
Well,
let's move on, bro. I got our second opinions are like asshole question.
What is it?
So if you had the choice to be born with 4 arms or 4 legs, which would you choose?
I've heard that somewhere. Somebody
I texted it you the other day. Oh, I did steal it. I saw it from a guy.
4 arms or 4 legs? I'm gonna go with.
Let us know.
I'm gonna go with 4 arms.
All right.
You know the climbing I can do with 4 arms?
Do a lot of climbing.
Strengthen them things up.
A lot of push-ups.
Yep. But I mean, I'd be climbing the trees. 4 arms for sure.
But you wouldn't be able to walk much.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna figure out how to use them suckers. There's more than one way to skin a cat.
You could do backwards pull-ups.
Right. Even if I gotta walk backwards, I'm walking. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, there's more than one way to skin a cat.
And you could eat, wipe your ass, jerk off at the same time.
Yeah. What thing about four legs? What can you do? How much flexing how much grabbing can you do with 4 feet? Now, I'm not trying to take away because some people have no arms and they use their legs very well. They can do everything, if not better, than I can do with my hands. But if I had to have a choice, I can strengthen those hands I got on my feet.
Well, let's answer. So if you have 4 legs, you obviously can't pick up food to eat.
Don't say that to me. You're gonna start some shit. Well, I'm telling you, they got some people with no arms who can eat better than you can.
No, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm saying coming out the gate, you'd have to.
I can't climb a tree. Let's put it that way.
Slim said 2 arms and 2 legs is fine enough. You're right.
That's not the question.
You can't climb a tree. All right, so obviously you're gonna have a hard time grabbing things. With your feet. All right, we're not gonna say it's impossible. You can't grab. Right. You can't grab anything with your feet. So
I think I can walk. People walk on their hands.
It's gonna be tricky.
I think I can walk. I can walk.
So let's say you're not gonna be able to play any sports with 4 arms. No. 4 legs, you might be able to be a sprinter.
Yeah. Right.
I think you could be faster with 4 legs. Way faster with 4 legs than you would with 4 arms. Would you be able to climb? I think you'd be able to climb with 4 legs.
How?
You still got your toes.
I got a tree right outside.
You can grip with your toes.
I got a tree right outside.
You don't think you can grip with your toes?
That's what I'm saying. You can, but not as well as you can. Like, you can train yourself to grip much better with your hands than you would be able to grip with your toes.
Well, obviously.
Right. So that's why I would take 4 hands. The issue is with.
But when a big bear's coming at you, you're not gonna be able to run away with 4 arms.
You never know. Look at man. I don't know. All right. So the question is now. This is where it gets. This is where it gets interesting. Which direction are those arms? Like, let's
So you
say
can have a left and a right hand on both
I'm
sides.
assuming. Yeah.
So
Okay.
these your left right
All
hand.
right, so
That's your left right hand.
Oh, I'll be good.
You Gucci?
Yeah, you look like a chupacabra or something. You know, but that's okay.
Give me 4 legs, man.
You can have your 4 legs.
So
we get in the octagon.
let's let's get into Saturday, man. Let's get into all the shit you didn't because you were writing music.
Yep.
And
Yes, I was right.
I'm here trying to dig content up for you guys.
Proud of you.
SEC championship.
Trying to create content.
Yeah.
You're trying to dig up other people's content.
I do. Like 4 arms and 4 legs.
You chilling watching LeBron live his dreams.
I'm living my best life right now, vicariously through you and Slim. So SEC championship, Alabama and Georgia.
All right, so you have to speak it to me as if I didn't see it because I didn't see it.
So obviously coming into the game, you figure Alabama's going to beat the brakes off of Georgia because Georgia lost to LSU by like 20 points.
Yeah, not necessarily, but I can see
Well, Alabama's smoking everybody they playing too. So you coming into the game. You coming into the game. So did you watch last year's national championship game? Georgia and Alabama.
Last year's national championship game.
I know. Okay. So last year.
I didn't actually. I didn't. That was when that was the one that they started the backup quarterback.
They didn't start in the second half, and he came back and won the game.
I mean,
well, that guy's a starter now.
Right.
Tua Tagovailoa. Say it.
Tua Tagovailoa.
There you go, bro. Anyway, he's the Heisman front runner.
And they pulled him.
They didn't pull him. He got hurt at the beginning of the game yesterday.
So what happened? What did he hurt?
He hurt his ankle.
And he couldn't.
And Georgia came up with this dude Swift. They were running the ball. They jumped out to a 2-touchdown lead.
So everybody thought it was over.
Well, Tua got Brett Favre circa 09 in the Superdome against the Saints.
Okay.
They were hitting him high, low. They were beating the brakes off of him. So eventually they hit him the way he couldn't come back. So the guy he replaced last year for the national championship game, this dude was like 26-2 as a starter, named Jalen Hurts.
I know who he
came into this season, lost his starting job because of the national championship game.
That is crazy.
And the thing that these dudes been doing in college, when they lose their starting job, they like, fuck this, I'm transferring. Yeah, I don't want to play no more. This dude stayed at school after losing his job, got called on in the 4th quarter yesterday, down 2 touchdowns, came back and pulled his team back to win.
Right. We're gonna stop right there, and then we'll pick it up. I just got a notification, breaking news: final college football playoff rankings.
So we picked the perfect time.
Alabama 1, Clemson 2, Notre Dame 3. Who you think's 4?
Ohio State.
Oklahoma. So, Bama and Oklahoma. And Clemson and Notre Dame.
There you go.
Georgia and Ohio State first 2 out. So where are they playing the national championship this year?
That I do not know.
Somebody knows. They'll be able to tell us. But all right, so I'm sorry. So they were down by 2 touchdowns.
They were down by 2 touchdowns. Georgia has the ball. And they're going to kick a field goal to go up 17. This is right before Tua got hurt. No, this is in the 3rd quarter.
Okay.
They missed the field goal. Nick Saban's going bonkers. He's like, they're leaving us an opening, right?
Yeah.
And then Tua gets hurt on the next drive. This dude comes in like 3 plays later. And they different style quarterbacks. One's a scrambler.
Right.
The one that came in is a scrambler.
Right. Jalen Hurts.
So they didn't prepare for him.
So they didn't have any.
He ate him up. He went like 6 for 8. 2 touchdowns.
Now here's the thing. You watched them play the national championship last year. Wait, am I right? Didn't they played Georgia last year? Correct?
Yeah, the national championship game.
Shame on Georgia. you basically got beat in the national championship game because he pulled the rabbit out the hat and put in the second string quarterback.
Did it again to you.
And did it again. And you didn't prepare for it.
Well, they didn't know he was gonna get hurt. They tried to do the same thing.
Still, you never know what he's gonna do.
They tried to do the same thing. LSU tried to hurt him too. When they played, they couldn't do it.
They tried to hurt him.
Well, at the beginning of the game, they had him hurt.
I mean, I don't know if you tried to hurt. That's what I said. You tried to hurt him.
You don't think the Saints tried to hurt Brett Favre in 09?
I don't know if they. Do you think they tried to hurt him?
Not bounty wise, what you're saying, but it always pays to take the best play out of the game, right?
Right. I mean, that's
when you hit them, you trying to drive your shoulder into them,
right,
and take them out of the game. They're not trying to injure him, but they're trying to take him out of the game.
I mean, they're right. Their scheme was to, strike some fear into him, try to rattle him. And that's a tough old man, bro, because he stood in there and took it, laid out on the table. They rubbed him, and he came back out. They punched him in the mouth again, and he laid on the table. Then they rubbed him, and he went back out there and did it again and again and again. I think a lot of the reasons why they changed the rule, the stupid the quarterback rule, which I had an issue with the hands to the face on the
But that was a bonehead play by your boy.
Well, his elbow was flat, like he was extended. Like he didn't touch him and then push. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to block the ball, put hands in his face.
Slim said
not touch his face.
Slim said when they played park ball, coach said whenever you knock the quarterback out of the game, you get a pizza.
Right.
Bounty.
That's part of it.
Bounty game.
Right. That's football. I mean, dude, that's football.
So are we back on the Saints? I got my third opinions are like asshole question, and this one probably gonna be the easiest one I give you. I'm not even gonna ask it like this. The question was, would I trade AD? But now I'm gonna ask this: would you trade the Pelicans franchise for the Saints to win the Super Bowl this year? This year, would you trade the Pelicans? Would you send the Pelicans to Seattle for the Saints?
Just get rid of the whole franchise?
Say, look, you guarantee us a Super Bowl, one more Super Bowl. Seattle could have the Pelicans. We're gonna give you the whole NBA team.
All right. So now you're asking this question. I have to think about more than just.
It's just this year, you guarantee.
I got to think about more than just the ring. I got to think about. I got a son, right?
Right.
So I'm thinking about memories that I could lose.
Slim said
missing
no.
out on Pelicans games, taking him to a bad, getting to see an NBA game. I'd have to drive to.
And you never know. The Pelicans could be in a position to win a championship at some point.
That's hilarious.
It's hilarious to think of right now, but I mean, it was hilarious to think the Saints would be won 15 years ago.
I'm gonna say though, and like I said, and the reason being is because, I'm not gonna take memories away from my family for a Super Bowl that it's not my job for them to win.
Right.
You're not getting that from me. Go out there and win the Super Bowl. Because I know you want it more than me. You probably want it more than I want. So, I mean, think about this. Dude, just think about the position that they're in right now. I think this loss is actually the best thing that happened to him because complacency is imminent. Like, complacency is going to happen. It's human nature. You see it in the workplace. You see it everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
You see it with me prepping for podcasts.
Right. So it's going to happen. They needed that reality check to actually get them to step their game up. And they have to, it makes the coaches think harder. It makes the players play hard. You know what I'm saying? It puts them on edge.
They leaving anyway. You definitely would trade the baby cakes.
They already,
they already leaving
next year, right?
But I'm saying, say they weren't leaving, you would definitely trade the baby cakes for this year's Super Bowl.
Yeah. You know how much baseball we got around here?
A lot of baseball. A lot of kids playing
Right.
baseball. LSU's always up there.
Shit, you can go to Valreese every weekend.
All right, so you ready to talk about this fight? Slim's hanging out. He wants me to talk about this fight. Slim, did you watch the fight? I know Wilder's 40-0 with 30 round knockouts. And I only seen 2 of his fights, so. And he got his ass kicked in both of them. He just happened to knock the first dude out. So.
All right, which fight are we talking about?
We talking about the heavyweight championship of the world. Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury.
So you got to talk to me as if I don't know this, because I don't know who's the championship. Who's the champion?
Wilder is the champion coming into the fight.
All right, and I know what the outcome was because I saw people talk about
and
it.
it's actually the header in the podcast.
Right.
So we wait 30 minutes to get to the thing I want. The most exciting part of my weekend was this fight.
That.
And off top, I will say I'm glad that the heavyweight division is becoming relevant again.
Well, I'm definitely glad about that too.
So these guys coming into the fight talked a lot of shit. Deontay Wilder came and told Tyson Fury at the press conference his people been fighting 400 years for this night, Saturday night. But Tyson Fury is British. He has nothing to do with slavery. Anyway, I've been giving Fat shit all week because
What the fuck was that about?
I like guys like Wilder that can come in and knock people out. The only problem Wilder has is he can't box. But he's strong as shit, so nobody's going to mix it up with him because he's got an overhand right that'll knock you into the next dimension.
He can't box?
He can't box.
But he's a professional heavyweight boxer.
Well, that's how far gone the heavyweight division is.
He just goes out there and throws bolos.
He throws bolos, bro. He's tall. He's 6'7". He's probably about 220, so he's quick. He's athletic.
Right. You can be on.
But he don't have any skills. He don't really have much boxing skill.
I've never heard anybody describe a boxer like.
So this dude, he went to school last night.
Okay.
Fury, I don't have any CompuBox numbers or anything like that, but Fury controlled the pace of the fight. This dude couldn't get a combination off until I know, Slim, I know he's 40-0. The other dude's undefeated too. And I was pulling for Wilder because I like to see Fats upset. Anyway, he didn't land a combination until the 6th round. But you could tell he was always in the fight. Wilder didn't, I apologize. Wilder did not land a combination until the 6th round of the fight.
Okay.
Your boy, every time he come over with the right, he come over with the overhand right like this, Fury would duck in, boom, boom, 1-2.
Mm-hmm.
Get him on the ropes. I mean, it's heavyweight, so it's obviously a slower pace than
right. It's just.
But so the 9th round comes. Wilder's got your boy in the corner and kind of grazes him over the top, like right behind his ear there.
Overhand right.
No, he connects, but it's not a hard punch.
It's not solid. It's not a hard punch.
But it was hard enough to knock his balance off.
Okay.
So he gets that knockdown in the night.
So they put him on his butt.
Arguably, the first round he won the fight was in the night. They put him in his butt. Dude got right up. Wins the 10th and the 11th round easy. Same formula.
So he didn't start winning until the first round where he was able to get the combo. Tyson Fury
won every round of the fight, in my opinion. I'm not a professional judge. I've just been watching fights for 30 years.
Well, you know how it is with the champion, they always give him that.
I agree.
It seems like
you have to take it from the champ.
Right.
This guy was taking it to the champ.
Right.
12th round comes. Wilder finally connects with his overhand right. Comes back around with a left hook. I'm going to tell you, I thought this dude was dead. This motherfucker fell on his head in the ring, eyes closed.
No shit. And they didn't call it?
Ref doesn't call the fight, counts him. At about a count of 6, this dude starts getting up. Looked like the Undertaker. Yeah, you know the Undertaker just sits up like this? Yeah. Dude got. Slim says he's on the ground for 12, 13 seconds. Whatever. He's biased. He's pulling for you, boy Wilder. I ain't got no horse in the fight.
I have to see it.
You know, I'm just kind of getting back into the heavyweights because they've been dead for so long. But this dude gets up. I agree. They should have stopped the fight. When this dude landed on his head and his eyes closed, I know the ref seen that shit. Fight should have been stopped.
Right. But they trying to bring the heavyweight.
But there was 2 minutes left in the round.
Trying to bring.
So he gets up. Slim, your guy should have finished him right there. He gets up and wins the rest of the round. Tyson gets up and wins the rest of the round. Hurts him. He's not Tyson Fury. You'd think he'd be a knockout artist, but he's not. He's a boxer. He's a boxer.
Right.
He gets up. He wins the rest of the round. Wilder's gas. It's a 10-8 round. So you give him them 2 rounds, and we'll give him. I gave him the second round too, which is just a regular. It wasn't really.
Okay.
Anyway, one judge scores it 115, 111 for Wilder, which doesn't mean nothing to you because you didn't see the fight. But if you have Showtime, watch it next Saturday. You come back on this Friday.
And that's basically punches. Those points really has a lot to do with. That's why Mayweather's so great because he lands more punches.
He lands. They even interviewed Mayweather during the fight. This was around the 6th round. Mayweather says, Wilder, he's just sitting here waiting for this one shot the whole night, and Fury's just putting him to work.
Right.
So I got it. I got a 5-0 Fury. I got a 5-0 Fury.
So okay, all right. So where we got 115, 111. What's the other scores?
The other one was even close. For Fury, it was like 115, 113, which I'll give him that because your boy had 2 knockdowns.
So where's the draw come into play?
The third judge had it 113, 113.
And if one judge has a draw, it's a draw?
Well, if the other 2 had the other guy winning the fight. So
that's right.
Me, you, and Slim are judging the fight. I got Fury, you got Wilder, and Slim's got the draw.
All right, now that makes sense. Okay.
There's 2 ways you can get a draw like that, or obviously you can get a draw if all 3 of them have a draw. But if one guy has, say if I had Fury winning, you got a tie, and Slim's got a tie, that's a majority draw. So that's a draw too.
Right. So to me, they're basically setting up round 2.
They set up round 2, and there's another guy from England that has the other belt named Anthony Joshua. So they're trying to set up these 3 guys to all fight each other.
Right.
Which is all big paydays.
Oh, for sure.
So if I were these 2 guys that just fought, we already know they're going to fight a war. I would each one of them go fight that dude Joshua and then come back and get paid. And that way Joshua gets paid. That's how corrupt boxing is right here. But the UFC kind of does the same thing.
Yeah.
But at least you're getting good fights. If they coming out and giving you good fights, I was really pissed about the draw last night. And I'm still upset about it because I think Fury pretty much took your boy to school.
Mm-hmm.
And I told Slim this morning, if this dude doesn't learn how to box, he's not going to beat Fury the second time. Right. And he's not going to beat the dude Joshua because that dude can box too,
right,
from what I've seen.
Because it sounds like to me, his combination or whatever, his knockout punch usually has the same sequence before it's coming.
But overhand right, that's what they were talking about the whole fight. And he was kept trying to set it up with the left hook, except when he got him, he led with the right and came back with the left hook.
Yeah.
And that's how he got him.
They switched, he changed it up. Changed up the timing, which you're going to be able to see both of those on tape.
Fury does look like he's about 50. He said, how the fuck is Fury only 30 years old?
Yeah, well, I guess the vigors of...
He came all Miritich's up last night, too. He only has a beard. He shaved for the fight.
Now, what we're going to say, like you were saying before, he was born in the box. You think he was named after Tyson?
He was. They tell you that before the fight. His dad was a big Mike Tyson fan. And his family were fighters. They had gypsy fights up there. You ever see a movie Snatch?
No.
Snatch has got Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt. They're gypsies, and Brandon's in it.
Oh, okay.
It's one of Brandon's first movies.
Oh, all right.
Anyway, but I don't think they call gypsies in Snatch. They call it something else, like Pieties or something like that. But they're kind of the same thing. Yeah, kind of the same thing. But they actually fight.
Like the old Irish boxing.
Yeah, they just fight.
Right.
But
like we were talking about these names, like his name was just meant to box. he's just meant to be a boxer.
Yeah, I'm meant to do more research of like names.
So, right. So you brought up names
got
of
one?
sports that were, guys whose name you just meant to be an athlete or meant to be in that.
Yeah, I couldn't. I was supposed to do more research.
Dick Butkus was a
Dick Butkus for football.
Was definitely a good one.
Is there any more football name than Dick Butkus?
There's another one in the 90s is when they really started marketing. Late 80s, 90s is when they really started using, NFL football players started to rake up a lot of money off of, promotions and Junior Seau.
Yeah.
And they in the 90s they took that last name and ran with it. Seau. I remember they used to sell. They had shirts with Seau on it.
What about that other? See, I wish we had.
What about a basketball?
They had Marion Butts.
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound like a pounded runner?
Yeah.
For the Chargers, remember him?
So what about who is that?
See, you put us on the spot here.
I am putting you on the spot. Basketball. Do we have a guy who's just meant to play basketball?
Jack Sigma.
No.
I just love that name. That's basketball as it gets right there.
Right. I don't think there really is one. I mean, you could say Isaiah Thomas because of the resurgence of the name.
Is there a more white basketball player named than Larry Bird?
No. That's about as white as it gets. He could not be a minority. Could not be of an ethnic background, I guess you could say. But I don't know. What about soccer players?
Hey, mine.
Maybe somebody's.
No. Okay.
Soccer players.
Pele, right?
That does sound like a soccer name.
Messi.
I don't know.
You know?
No, not that.
What about David Beckham?
It's just that's like saying Michael Jordan.
This is a weenie segment.
It is. But you brought it up, so you could do some research on that.
Yeah, we'll come back.
We'll come up with some sports names, guys' names who were meant to be athletes in their particular sport. But I think Tyson Fury is like A1.
Top.
He's up there.
He's top five.
Yeah, that's your two. So what you got?
Mean Joe Green for football? But then you got the nickname. So if you just say Joe Green.
Yeah.
So we talked about the Falcons game, the Katrina game the other day. I was talking to a guy I work with. And U2 and Green Day opened the game.
Mm-hmm.
They performed before the game, the post-Katrina thing.
Right.
So if you were going to that game and you were going to see that show, are you going to see U2 or Green Day?
Green Day.
So I said U2, but I understand.
But wait. I mean, that's right out the gate. And the reason being is because, usually, like, you want to hear music that takes you to a certain moment in life. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I would choose Green Day. Now,
U2 got the Saints are coming.
Right. But we didn't know the Saints were coming until they played it you didn't know that song was coming. And that was the first time they aired it. Like they actually showed that song. You know what I'm saying? They never performed that song at all until that night. They made it for that night. But thinking about it this way, listening to U2 on the radio and listening and seeing U2 perform live is probably a whole different experience. So I think U2 would be much more a phenomenon for me. So I think I would go redact on that and say U2, but Green Day takes me back to
your teenage years.
Right, to a more, I guess, butterfly time in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what people want to hear, music that takes them to best days of their life. They're usually their childhood, so it would be an interesting concert, one way or the other.
I'm out of notes, bro.
You out of notes. Well, check this out. I wanted to bring this up. Remember how last week you were talking about how you brought up villains and how you want to root for like
movie villains?
Movie villains make you just want to root for them. Well, this morning I was watching Fast and the Furious.
Right.
I woke up to it.
Which one?
The one where Vin Diesel is the villain.
The one we were just watching.
The one that they were right.
I didn't see that one, but
I didn't see it either. I still didn't watch the whole movie, but I remember, he basically was looked at as a traitor. Now there's a situation where he steals nuclear codes.
Come on,
from the prime minister.
You can do it
because he was told to, and then his crew actually comes out to stop him. And they actually they got him pinned in the corner. They got him surrounded. They got him cabled up. And he's a villain. You just want him. You're right. For whatever reason, you just want him to succeed. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't.
All right. Well, here's another opinions question. What villains were you pulling for in movies? Like I heard that about the new Halloween. You actually pulled for Michael Myers.
Yeah, well, that's why you brought it up. I didn't see that yet.
I haven't seen it either, but I heard that when you watch it, you pulling for Michael Myers.
I don't know. Who would you give me? You got another one?
Oh, there's a few of them I could probably think of if you give me this. Like Denzel Washington on Training Day. You root for him.
Yeah, you find yourself rooting for him at certain times because he does his character was so special.
What up, Kevin?
That even though he did some fucked up shit, you just wanted to die because you wanted to hear him talk.
You want to hear him talk and dude,
where the Russians come and pull up on him, and he starts calling them out.
Yeah,
goes out like Scarface. Scarface is
probably
that's another guy you didn't want to die. I heard. Speaking of the irony in this, I saw a Facebook ad the other day that's saying they're actually redoing Scarface. They're making a remake of Denzel Scarface.
Where'd you find this at Facebook?
I saw it on Facebook.
At first.
Would a Denzel Scar? Here's another opinion. Would a Denzel Scarface?
He kind of did it in American Gangster when he played Frank Lucas, which was a true story.
Frank Lucas was chill.
Yeah, so
Scarface was on coke.
I think
you talking about that's two different personalities.
If you're gonna get a young black actor to play Scarface, I think you should go younger.
You didn't like Percy Miller's Scarface?
What the last time? No, we good on Master P.
No, but yeah.
Hey Kevin, who's your favorite movie villain that you caught yourself rooting for at the end of the movie? Kevin's in the house. That's what we're talking about. I'm telling what we're talking about.
Yeah, we were talking about how, you find yourself, the way movies are scripted based on characters, how you'll find yourself rooting for the villain without even realizing it. And then, it dawns on you, like, I don't want this guy to die.
What about Tupac in Above the Rim? Birdie.
Here's the deal with that, is you just want him not to die because of who he really is in real life.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I don't think it. You
don't root for Bishop and Juice though.
The last thing you wanted was Tupac's crew to go shoot up the basketball team. Because he ordered the hit. So why would it's just different. Do
you really root for Scarface after he kills his best friend?
I don't know. I have to go watch it again, but he killed his best friend because
for sleeping with his sister.
Right? Just because he was he
had to kind of like it. Yeah.
He felt that he was betrayed. He felt betrayed by it because that was his baby sister. But they also adults.
But he knew he was a good dude.
Right. I mean, if there was anybody, he would, I guess he would ask for her hand. But he did go ask for. Well, no. Well, all right. So let's look at it like this. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he was pissed off.
He was asking in the car, and Scarface.
He didn't want his daughter to be with a gangster.
Yeah, sister.
Whether it's his best friend, his daughter. I'm sorry, he didn't want his sister to be with a gangster. He didn't, he was a gangster.
Kevin said the Incredible Hulk.
Was it? Yeah, because he was technically a villain when we were kids, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't see the movie. Is he a villain in the movie?
I haven't seen the movie either. I got boys. I should be watching it too.
Right. Now, what about Venom?
I haven't seen that either.
Was he a villain? I think he was a villain when he first came out in the comics books.
They say you root for the.
And then they kind of tied.
Actually, the new Avengers. I've seen the new Avengers. You kind of. I don't know if you necessarily root for Thanos.
Who's that?
He's the bad guy
Oh.
in Avengers.
Obviously.
You're not a comic book head. We need to get Jay up in here.
I did the DC thing.
What about the Joker when Heath Ledger plays the Joker? Do you root for him?
Is it because if you do root for him, is it because he died before the movie came out and you felt sorry for him?
Maybe.
Because you felt he died because he was. It wasn't the joke. It wasn't Heath Ledger that died. It was the Joker that died. And
a classic movie where you root for the villain is Heat. Where you root for Robert De Niro's character. But have you seen Heat?
No.
Where Al Pacino plays the cop and Robert De Niro runs a crew of bank robbers. You find yourself rooting for him in that movie.
I got one. Ben Affleck.
In the town?
Yes.
It's kind of similar to that, except
right. That's
the cop doesn't have as big a role in the town as Al Pacino does in Heat.
Well, that's where the white O-Dog was formed.
And Jeremy Renner, that dude was the shit.
You're right. He played his ass off.
That dude was the shit in that movie.
I didn't want him to die.
There you go.
You know, and he was ruthless.
Dude, that's a classic line where Ben Affleck walks in and says, "We got to go do something, but we're gonna hurt some people." And Jeremy Renner looks at him and goes, it says something like that.
Yeah, right. He agreed with it.
Yeah.
Right? I remember. Yeah.
And people are gonna get hurt.
Yeah. That movie was badass. Like that was the ultimate Boston gangster movie.
The Departed was. Have you seen The Departed?
No.
That's a good Boston gangster movie too.
I have to check it out. See, you know how many times I tell you no?
Yeah, that's what. Like I can think of. There's so many movies in my head. Like you find it even in that movie, you find yourself rooting for Jack Nicholson.
Do you root for O-Dog in Menace to Society? Is he a villain?
I don't root for O-Dog.
You didn't root for O-Dog?
No, he was a dick.
Right. But you feel bad for him because he didn't know any better.
I would say you root for more guys like Doughboy was kind of a villain, somewhat, in that movie, in Boys in the Hood.
Yeah.
I find myself rooting for more guys like that.
It was almost as if he knew better.
He had a purpose. Yeah.
Right. He knew better.
But he had more principle. Like O-Dog didn't have any principle.
Right.
He's just an asshole.
What you say about my mom?
Yeah, O-Dog was just a dick.
Because one of the greatest scenes, I think one of the greatest scenes in 90s movies history was was Q's, Doughboy at the end after his brother died.
Yeah.
And
turn your bitch ass over.
No, not that. The one after he did that, and he felt remorse for doing it.
Yeah.
And he said, either they don't know.
It's just the way it is.
Don't care what's going on. And he was depressed. Like it didn't. What was great about that scene is it didn't. Like he thought that revenge, that retaliation was gonna fill that void, and when it didn't, he realized that he's just creating another statistic, and like he was part of the problem and not part of the solution. You know what I'm saying? And that the way that scene was scripted and the way he played it out, you couldn't ask for any better.
Well, I do have a movie question. I don't know
what you got.
I was watching Major League this morning, but I don't know if you see Major League?
Yeah.
Have you seen Bull Durham?
No.
See, I can't answer that question.
So what is the question? Exit.
Better baseball movie. It's a comedy. Both of them
are comedy. Bull Durham is the one where
Kevin Costner. I sent you the clip that one day. Right. Yeah.
I mean, Major League, dude, was one of my favorite movies ever. Like.
So let's go. So we'll rephrase the movie question and
Willie Mays Hayes.
In honor of Creed 2 coming out and that question there. Tell me some of your favorite sports movies of all time. Off the top of your head.
Favorite sports movies of all time. Major League is up there.
Above the Rim is not a sports movie.
Rocky 4. Let's go straight to Rocky 4. Is Karate Kid? a sports movie?
No, I think it's more of a drama about bullies. Like sports movies have the main element has to be
bullies in all sports movies.
Yeah, but look at Rocky.
They get a bully in Major League.
Karate Kid's more of a family movie about triumph, perseverance.
But it's a sport.
Is Karate Kid a sports movie?
Sport.
Yeah.
Is karate a
Karate is a sport.
Right.
But is the Karate Kid a sports movie?
Yes.
Is it based on him competing in karate,
right.
or is it based on him overcoming adversity?
Do you really have to make me go into great detail about why this is a sports movie? And
yeah, tell me why the Karate Kid is a sports movie.
All right. First off, I'm gonna ask you a question. How many kids that play sports actually become professional athletes when they become older?
Very small percent.
Like out of 100, what you got? Is it 1?
Out of 100?
Out of 100%, is it 1%?
Out of 100? No.
Plus or minus, it's less than 1%.
Less than 1%.
All right. So if your kid plays sports and he doesn't become a professional athlete, what do you want him to take from that? That experience. What do you want him?
Yeah,
to
but
take
what does this have to do with Karate Kid being
I'm
a sport?
asking a question. I'm going to explain to you if you let me.
Well, it depends on the sport he's playing. If he's playing football or team sport, you want to be able to take some of that team aspect out of the experience.
All right.
Working with others, following a game plan, following a strategy. Now, if you want to go to a singular sport like karate or boxing, you want him to take the lessons of things he's learned in his discipline, like his self-discipline.
Now, I have two things that I could object to you on that. Well, I'll agree and object. Just because it's a singular sport doesn't mean you don't learn teamwork in that singular sport. Now, I know once you're out there by yourself, but you're being coached, you're being taught a strategy, your instructors. So that is a team by following your instructors' rules and not going outside.
Yeah, but
the grain.
In the competition, you're not. There's things in individual sports such as tennis, anything. I mean, the chess that you're competing. Yeah, you're competing under a system, but you're not competing simultaneously with the team.
All right. So check this out.
Why are we talking? I asked you. You're supposed to tell me the Karate Kid is a sports movie.
I'm going to explain to you why.
Well, I got work tomorrow.
Karate is a sport, right? You said we agreed that karate is a sport.
Yeah, karate is a sport. Bucks are beating the Panthers.
So, more than like your boy, he didn't become. Obviously, Daniel's son didn't become a professional fighter. He became a car salesman based on the new movie, right?
TV show, yeah.
The TV show, right? Okay. Here's the deal. What you think he got out of that experience?
That still doesn't make.
Yes, it does. Because bullshit. Because what you're telling me right now, you just basically answered your question. You want your son to be taught basic life principles out of the sport. Because even if he doesn't have
you're flipping the question.
No, I'm not. I'm answering the question. Because think about this.
Yeah, bark at him.
Shut up. Think about this. Like you said, and then a singular sport, team sport, right? You still learning principles. You learning how to work as a team during a team sport and knowing that one person does not carry it. And then in a singular sport, you're learning that sometimes in life, nobody gives a fuck. And the only person who's going to get you out of that situation is you. So you're learning principles. Karate Kid is a sports movie that taught principles better than any movie out there.
I need to smoke
wax
weed.
On, wax off.
I need to smoke weed to understand what you're saying right now.
I didn't smoke any weed.
I need to.
You need to. I bet you people watching, when they hear what I had to say, I guarantee they're going to.
The question's out there right now. It's pins. It's the first thing they see. Is the Karate Kid a sports movie? Get at it.
It is a sports movie, but you were trying to get me to explain to
I think my definition of sports movies are different than your definition of sports movies.
It does.
My definition of sports movies circles around actual sports. Karate Kid doesn't circle around actual sports until the very end of the movie.
So what?
The rest of the movie, they fighting in the school, they fighting on the beach.
So what?
He's picking up a chick.
All right, so how much real boxing do you get in Rocky?
Yeah, but it's centered around the sport of boxing.
Rocky, there's no Karate Kid without Rocky, for one. For two, but I know.
Slim said you're wrong, man.
How am I wrong? You're not wrong. It is a sports movie.
It's not a sports movie.
No, yes it is.
On a chart of what a sports movie is, it's not a sports movie.
It depends on what kind of sports movie. There's different kind of sports.
It's a great movie.
There's dramas, A League of Their Own. That's a sports movie, but it's a drama.
And you follow a team.
League, that's a sports movie, but it's a comedy.
You follow a team.
It's a sports movie, it's a drama.
You're not following a certain person around as he's trying to overcome these kids at his school. And the way he does it, he goes to happen to fight at this event.
Okay.
Bloodsport is a sports movie.
Right, but you don't really see the fighting, the fight until the end.
Yeah, but he's going to that fight. The whole movie is set up to get that.
Daniel's son, everything was set up to get into that fight.
No, half the movie he's not. Mr. Miyagi's not interested in training them, and all of a sudden they train him for this, and then they go and say,
"Why does that not make it a sports movie? Why does that not make it a sports movie?" So Karate Kid 2, is that a sports movie? Because he's a
obviously no.
At that point.
No, there's no sports in Karate Kid 2. There's no competition. There's just a fight at the end of the movie.
All right, Karate Kid 3.
Out of the three, that's probably the most sports movie because he signs up for the fight at the beginning of the movie.
It's all right. It's a slow sports movie. If you want to go there.
Are we just gonna
the principles.
Can we just agree to disagree?
No.
That we're not gonna change each other's mind?
Because think about this. You ever watched a horror movie that didn't get real scary until the end? Same thing. It doesn't have a lot of shock value to it. It's more about the story than it is about the shock value.
Give me an example.
Let's see. I'm gonna give you one. All right. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna give you one right now. Edgar Allan Poe, The Fall of the House of Usher.
I don't know that. I've never seen it. I never read it either. So.
Right. Okay. So that's one right there. You know, and there's another one, The Telltale Heart.
I read that.
That's another one. Doesn't have a lot of shock value to it, but it's got it's scary. It's strong. You know.
I agree to disagree.
All right. Because you can't.
Fair enough.
You can't handle the truth.
Is A Few Good Men a military movie? Or is it a courtroom movie?
That's a military movie. It's a military movie about what goes on in the military courtroom.
Okay.
Right?
I don't know. I just threw it out there because you didn't do it in the line.
Is Top Gun a military movie?
Most definitely.
Why could it not be an aviation movie?
Oh. Anyway.
All right.
We made our hour. So we fulfilled our obligation.
So wait. I want to bring up one more thing before we get out of here. And this is where I was going with the Fast and the Furious. We had a Fast and the Furious experience in Paris this week.
What happened?
And the way the news pulled it out, there was a high-speed chase, stolen cars and I think there was two different chases of two different situations in the same day. Shootout, broad daylight, down the highway on like a Tuesday, and the sheriff had a few kind words for people who, want to steal cars and drive into the parish. Now,
what do you say?
I'll pull it up and check this out. And what I want to get at is we were told that there were red light. We were told about these cameras. Like, we had some inside scoop about these cameras, that they've been there. And what they do is they ding, like once a stolen plate gets put into a register, it snapshots every plate coming in and out of the parish, and it dings. They get a notification when a stolen plate comes into the parish. So obviously communications calls the units and they go pull it over, right?
All right, what he said?
Is that to me, is that what you call it?
Invasion of privacy?
Right. I don't think.
Well, toll booths have it all around the country. I don't know if Kevin's still in the room, but he could probably tell you that right now. Like when you go to Illinois, you ride, is that I-80? It's gotta be I-80. They got toll, even the turnpike in Florida's got the tolls with the cameras on them. So if you don't pay the toll, they take a picture of your license plate and send you a ticket in the mail.
Right.
What's the difference between that and the other thing?
Well, I guess the difference between that and the other thing is this, like the red light cameras, that's a whole nother story, right? That's RoboCop.
But this ain't red light cameras. This is the same thing you're talking about. This is a camera hanging on top of a.
For me, I don't object to anything he had to say. Like, and it's real talk. Like, you want to do stupid shit. Like, for one, I didn't know, usually people who are caught thieves, the first thing they're doing is getting that thing out of there and get rid of the plate.
It's not getting rid of the plate before you steal it.
But this, from what I understand, these cars were on the register for a long time. Like, it wasn't like they just stole it and showed up and said, that right after they stole it.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to get at is he basically, warned and I'm thinking about this in my sense. I'm driving down the highway, I got my son in the back seat, and it's shootout, right? What does that do for your family? I'm trying to find the fucking video. But
I will say this, that shit like that happens everywhere. So what irks me about reading stuff like that is when people get in the comment section and say, I'm so glad I left the parish. It hadn't been the same since Katrina. All this code talk that people like to say about the parish to make themselves feel better. And all of it's bullshit.
Right.
Like they had people stealing cars when I was a kid.
No, that's always been there.
They've always had people stealing cars. They've always had people stealing, stores. They always had people trying to get in cars. This shit ain't no new occurrence. When we were kids, we steal hubcaps. I ain't gonna incriminate myself too much on here, but we did things. We did shit that you really that still goes on today. And if we lucky, we get one murder a year. Or unlucky, we get one murder a year, maybe two. So all the people that live in moved out the parish in the North Shore and says we ain't the same.
No.
Be happy where you at, because we don't want you back anyway. Parish is better than ever.
Right.
So y'all go fuck yourselves.
I think that is a little overkill. You know what I'm saying? To say that, it's never what they used to be. That to me, that.
Well, I'm not gonna sit and pretend like people, like what they trying to say is. Yeah, I know my neighborhood's getting a little, getting a lot more mixed, and I'm fine with that. Most of my neighbors are, all my neighbors are nice as hell. I never have any problems in my neighborhood. So.
Well. He was pissed off, and what he did say, and this is where I wanted to get, Monday, no, that wasn't it. So what I did want to get into is the fact that he said that we know as deputies what we're getting ourselves into and when we sign up for this job. So we knew it was going to happen. But if you come down here with some stolen cars, you're gonna get stopped and you're going down. And we'll do whatever it takes to stop you.
And I respect that. I respect that.
Right. And
I just don't like the narrative people say about stuff like that. I don't like the narrative that people come on there and use all that code talk that they like to say.
Well, no.
Parish ain't the same.
Right. Well, I'm gonna put this into perspective for people who even think that what he had to say might have been talked up. You're just gonna be violent, whatever. That's somebody's kid. Ice-T, I want to bring this up. Before he became a celebrity, Ice-T was a bank robber, right? And he admits it. He openly talks about it. And I just want people to think about this in a different perspective. Like he said, we knew what we were doing when we were doing it. I never had anything against the police. I never hated the cops. We never looked at them as enemies. We looked at them as opponents. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, we knew that this could possibly happen if we do something like this. So I ain't mad at you if you catch me. I ain't mad. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing. I mean, for people, I just think people get delusional when they don't think we need protection, when they don't think we need, like, safety. And I don't have an issue with police officers at all. You know what I'm saying? I support good law enforcement.
I think the problem people have with police officers is not that they don't support good officers. They get frustrated when the good officers don't call out the bad ones. Like when something happens, they gang up. They support.
They sweep it under the rug.
They sweep it under the rug. They support without consequence, unconditional. They give each other unconditional support. When one cop does something fucked up, they all support. They all ride the cop, even though he may be in the wrong.
Right.
And I think that's the main problem people have with.
They try to keep it in house. And look, I mean, there's definitely crooks in every department. Like there's good cops that go out there and do it for a reason. They do it, like they want to protect their community. There's others that are in it to try to make as much out of it,
Power.
Right, try to suck the system dry. There's some that go into it for the right reasons and end up being turned out.
Some like having that power.
Right.
It's a lot of power to have over. You pull somebody over, you know how much power you have as an officer?
That's it. It's all yours. Now and now they have the cameras now that they have to wear, which they say is good for both parties.
I think I think that message gets lost in all the infighting with Black Lives Matter and Blue Lives Matter and stuff like that. Not like people have a problem, like I said, with police in general. They just have problems with accountability. And I think it works on the other side too,
Right. And it happens, like, there's a small percentage of the police population that is crooks, right? It's not this big. It's not as big majority. It's a small population.
It's always a small. It's small. It's called a small majority. The most vocal.
Right.
It's
It's
what
just
it
a
is.
quiet. It's a few. There's some people that shouldn't be police officers. There's some that don't know how to handle the heat of the moment, that get flustered and don't know how to react the right way.
That's why I'm a proponent of officers work in their own neighborhoods. They know the people. They know who's kind of wacky.
Right.
They know who the criminals are in their own neighborhoods. I'm not for cops getting jobs, going to work in places they're not familiar with.
I saw a video.
Like guys who live in Poydras have to get JP jobs.
Right. I mean, but there's certain jurisdictions that let people from out of town come in.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. And I would even go as far as saying, we're going to use hypothetical, you as a St. Bernard police officer, you would work this neighborhood. This would be your beat.
Right. And here's another thing. What a lot of them do now, like the undercover agents and like the not your regular patrol. I'm talking about cops and units, crime units, whatever. They'll swap officers because of that reason.
Oh, they know each other.
Right. So if they're on an undercover project, they'll bring a guy from out of town in to work the streets.
Yeah, but I'm talking more street patrols.
Right.
That's the ones that end up in a lot of the trouble.
Yeah. Usually, like you have these small towns. I mean, and you can turn jurisdictions like a big city. You put officers in certain jurisdictions and leave them there. And those are small towns, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Big city, small, the jurisdiction, population, so you kind of get acquainted with everybody. But I think, like I said, people get misconstrued. There's a lot of things it's a practice. And they call it practice, any career job is a practice. And they call it a practice for a reason.
A trade, essentially a trade.
Yeah, right. But nobody ever masters anything, you know what I'm saying? So it's a growing process and you know, it comes with the territory. I don't think it's ever going to change.
DeJuan's in the room. I talked to him about the fight last night, man. What did you think of the fight? Did you think that count on Fury in the 12th was too long? You think the ref gave him too long to get up? My boy Slim said so. I thought it was a hell of a fight. I think Wilder lost though, but I thought it was a hell of a fight. Yeah. So
well, we can end on that, and I'm glad that you know.
Yeah, you got me talking. You got me out of my comfort zone now. You talking?
Well, no, I was looking for the video.
That's why I tried to take as many notes as I could.
Because he had a really good response to the question that was asked, and you couldn't do anything but agree with him on that.
Right.
Because you think he got, you know, like maybe somebody who's young doesn't really understand it, but when you got family to feed, you know, and you want to protect, you're protecting your family from ignorance. You know what I'm saying? Like that's.
Yeah, like I said, the only problem I had with all that is I don't like people who diss the comments.
Oh, you say people,
especially people in the North Shore.
That's why I left.
Yeah, you know you
because of that situation right there.
Yeah, like one isolated incident. You know, like it happens every day around here.
No, that's bullshit. And that can happen anyway. I could walk out the door right now and somebody pull out a gun and just bust me in there, no matter where I'm at.
And most of these people that do that live in Slidell or Covington.
Right.
They act like shit don't happen here.
I hate to be a dick, but they're trying to justify the reason why they left.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why they packed up and left. They have to justify that reason.
So,
you know. But y'all have a wonderful week, and we will see you. I'm gonna catch y'all Monday or Tuesday on a live. Y'all guys share this video. We're gonna be pulling a raffle, and we're gonna pull it next weekend. We're gonna pull a raffle next weekend. So the more shares we get, more numbers in the hat, and we got gifts we're gonna be giving away for this holiday season. And I think we may have to keep doing that. Stay in the holiday spirit even after the holiday.
Jimmy said Fury woke up, jumped up like he was late for work when he got up. Hey, y'all have a good week.